YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet, and this is the NCAA 14 Highland Scotties Team Builder Dynasty with the Highland Scotties Sports Talk. This is episode 22, and we're going to take a quick review here of week 4 of the Highland Scotties in action. If you just seen the previous episode, you missed a very good game there. Highland pulled out a very nice victory of a score of there. You see on your screen, 63-20 is the final, as Highland did a great job there. Take a look at the rushing yards. 29 carries for 292 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Passing, had a great day there, as they converted 9 of 11 third down conversions there. Had a great day for the most part there, but with it, fortunately, they did have 4 turnovers, 3 of which were the interception, and of course there was 1 fumble, and all 4 were caused or actually happened from Alex Flanagan. And like I said, Flanagan, bit of a let's throw now and just ask questions later. He's a loose, not a loose cannon, I should say, but kind of a Brett Favre like. He's kind of a guy that he's a gunslinger, but he can accuracy. He's pretty accurate, but at times when he gets too fired up, too ready to go, he's not thinking too clearly on his passes. You see, it makes a nice pass there. See some of the highlights from that game. Here are some of these scoring plays here. Had a great day there. He got K-Sun in the end zone, not just once, but I believe twice in this game here, with 2 passing touchdowns there. I don't know, actually got him, I think, once, but he was little. He got in there 3 times. Who had a great day. And we'll see those numbers here in a bit. But Highland did a great job here. I mentioned in that video we played them just a year ago. We have a 2-year deal with some of the independent teams like ourselves. And this will be the last year that we had to play the New Mexico State Aggies. We'll eventually play them somewhere down the long line there. But yeah, we defeated them 38-7 last year. Flanagan was 18-25, 225 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and an interception. He had 10 carries for 33 yards and 1 rushing touchdown here. So his numbers in this game were kind of similar, with the exception of he had 2 more interceptions than he did in this game compared to last year. But for the most part here, I think the team did a great job there. I mean, we had a little hiccups there for the here and there, but I think overall, Coach, at least talking to Coach here after this was on Saturday when the game was played, I talked to him on Monday morning about it, and he was pretty satisfied and pretty content on the victory there. Not necessarily saying he was expecting a big blowout, but he knew that this team was possible of doing a lot of things and putting the points on the board there and getting what they needed to do to win this ball game there. So big day there, for K-Sun. I believe he's went over 200 some odd yards. I believe he's in talks, or right now he's being mentioned as a Heisman Trophy candidate once again. Like last year, I believe last year he finished in 3rd in the Heisman Trophy running there. So he's definitely going to try. He definitely in this game made his campaign bid to threw his hat in the ring there to be a Heisman Trophy contender for this year's trophy. Flanagan, I think with the interceptions, I think if he didn't have so many interceptions per game, or at least if he had so far the 4 games we've played in so far, I think if he would have not made any multiple interceptions, maybe 1 interception a game, or maybe none, I think he would definitely be a top guy, a top contender for the Heisman. And he still has time. Still has enough time to do so. turn things around here. I mean, we have a bye week coming up here, and then of course we have especially these next 3 games. 2 of the 3 games will be very important for him in this ball club. That'll be against at Wisconsin, who I believe is ranked right now 16th in the nation, and at LSU. We have to play down there, play against the Bengal Tigers. So that, I mean, if he has some pretty good games there and shows what he can do, not just through the air but also through the ground, I think some help him getting get him some rushing yards and then make some big plays with his legs, and be smart about it. I don't think he would there would be an issue. I think he would definitely be a guy that we could say, hey, this young man, he has some talent here, and we can all see him possibly being Heisman Trophy winner there. So still enough time for a lot of these guys to turn things around, and that not just for us, but throughout the whole NCAA Division I. There's still enough time for everyone to do what they got to do to get in the positions there if they want to start winning some awards here. So yeah, the first 4 weeks are are about to be up here, or are now officially up, and we have week 5 coming up here as we have a bye week, and we'll get into that here just a little bit later. And what at least what Coach Teddy Bonds has in mind for week 5. But for the most part here, Highland did a great job there defensively. Stepped up, I believe. On the defensive side of the ball was just as well great. We had a big day fair from Sherman, who got a nice catch. Barrow had an interception, and I can't think of the other guy there that had another. He had 2 interceptions in the game. I can't even think of the other gentleman that made the interception there. But for the most part here, the biggest the biggest thing of the game was really for Sherman. He had those 6 sacks in a game, the most sacks in a game in a game for school history. So that was really nice to see him be able to get the 6 sacks and get that school record there for most sacks in a game from a single player there. So he really did a good job there. And a lot of people, I was talking to some of the other reporters and stuff like that, said that they wouldn't be surprised if they see Sherman's name brought up as a Heisman Trophy winner. It's been a long time since we've seen I know in real life, it's been a long time since we've seen a person from the defensive side of the ball. I think the last person to win it was Charles Woodson. And that was back in the mid 90s. So it'd be kind of awesome to see if Flanagan could do that, or not Flanagan, Sherman. But that would be kind of really cool to see, him to pull something off like that and be able to, just do some, I mean, the kid is awesome. He's he rips right through the line. He keeps himself focused. I talked to him over the weekend, and he was just, when I told him that he had the most sacks in a single game for school history, he's like, oh wow, I didn't know that was the, he thought the number was bigger. He didn't realize the number was that that kind of small and whatnot. And I said, does that add any more pressure to you? He says, no, that's just, that just makes me hungry now, so I can set the bar and kind of set the what is expected to be play that position. And Flanagan, or I should say Sherman, he's a really funny guy. He's keeps the team laughing, and he's a hard worker out there. He really puts a lot of work into what he does there, and his dreams are just like many football players. He wants to go to the NFL and see what he can do on that level, but it's not the end all be all. But yeah, for the most part here, he's just a really great individual, and we cannot wait to see him be doing more for this team, because he has been just an awesome just cornerstone for that defensive line there for Highland. So Sherman, great week there for him. Like I said, we'll see the numbers. If you have not seen the numbers already, he had that 7 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 6 sacks in the game there. So big day for him, and like I said, he's going to be a beast, and that's something we need him and many others to do there here coming up in the next couple of weeks here. Weeks, especially in weeks 7 and 8, when we take on Wisconsin and LSU, both on the road there, because we only have one home game. I believe that is in week, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think it's in week 9 that we have that one home game. So we're going to be really hurting for some home cooking and putting on a nice home, nice game for the hometown, because they're not going to get much love, especially in Wisconsin and in LSU. I believe was talking to one of the AD, and then eventually the AD said something about it, and I confirmed it with Coach Bonds, but he said Bolden, and this is confirmed because I went to ESPN, talked to their officials there, and looks like that game day is going to be hosting there in Wisconsin, and so we'll be in that game, playing them in that game, so we get some national exposure there, which is going to be very nice for Coach Teddy Bonds and whatnot. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Coach Teddy Bonds has an interview with them. We'll try to see if we can get some privilege for that interview about their great success so far here in the 2 years that they've played. Been in the FBS here, so that's gonna be really cool. Coach Teddy Bonds, he doesn't like the whole press thing. He seems like that's just too much for, not too much, but he just seems like it just takes too much away from doing what he needs to do. And it's kind of interesting how that's going to play out here. We'll talk more about that here coming up here in about another 2 weeks before we get a chance to be there in Madison there for that game. So should be a good game. Should be a really fun game. It's going to be a very competitive game. But for us, after the bye week, we have UMass. Will be the first game that we'll have after the break there, and we'll have to see what we do against UMass. I think UMass, we did pretty well there. This is the second year we've played against them. Them and the Aggies are the two teams that we did a 2-year contract with, playing against other independents there. So I don't know if we're going to renew that contract with either one of those teams there, but I know at some point here we'll face against them, and we'll see what, because Coach Teddy Bonds and the AD get together. They'll be getting together here in actually a couple weeks, really, to set up the scheduling for next season. And like I said, I already know that we're going to be playing Notre Dame in prime time next season, so that's going to be a big game. That's going to be a huge game for us, playing against a team like that. Fellow independent, and of course, when you say Notre Dame, you're thinking of all the greats that play there, and just the history of that ball club and whatnot. So it should be a very interesting dynamic, and how that's gonna fall into place and whatnot. And Coach Teddy Bond always looking for a challenge for himself, and of course for his ball club. But there you see the final, the numbers there, final score, say the least here, 63, to 20 is your final here against the Aggies. But like I said, for the most part here, this game, as you've seen there, was just did a great job of marching down the field, and big runs like this from K-Son, it was just very, very helpful. Took a little bit of the pressure off of Flanagan, and K-Son, of course, your player of the game there, almost getting just over 250 in rushing yards there alone. So just a great day, and just a nice Saturday afternoon, just beating up fellow NCAA ball club team. So Highland on the upper out here, 4-0 now going to week 5. And we'll see if things will get better for us after this bye week here, because, like I said, it's going to be a tough road trip coming up. Flanagan, 30 of 41. He did throw quite a bit. Coach Dave Bond says that he wanted him to stay out there a little longer. I asked him about the whole, bringing in this, the backup team, second string guys, but he's like, if the Aggies at one point just kept, coming after them and playing the no huddle, and he says, okay, fine. But he says in the future, that's not going to be the case there. He does want to start putting in some second stringers here more often here. You'll probably see a lot more of them in some of the games coming up. He said for sure, definitely they will not, depending on what the score is like in the Wisconsin and the LSU game, the All-Stars will be playing all throughout the game. Maybe occasionally some, we'll have guys coming in and out, but for the most part, all first string stars will be in there. Other games, he said there's a good chance that they'll be, depending on the score and what's going on, that they'll be subbed out. So at some point here, depending on what the score is like at half, he will start subbing those guys out and give some of those younger players some experience there, because he's all about just getting those guys, those younger players, some experience and get them used to be out on the field there. So take a look at some of the numbers there. Like I said, Sherman there, 7 tackles, 6 sacks, and 6 tackles for loss there for him. A great day for him. Barrow, 8 tackles. He had an interception along with a tackle for loss and a sack there also too. So nice, really nice day for him. He was going all out there. So definitely had a great game. Defensively, just only giving up 20 points in the game. At some point there at half, we had a great lead, and I really thought the defense, like, okay, defense playing this well in the first half. I mean, second half is just going to be just as great. We did give up a touchdown there. Of course, they were running that crazy no huddle that the game loves to run, but. To say the least, they did a great job there, and a lot of those plays there, just really not letting us get the right personnel in there, and taking advantage of what we had out there for the play call that we had to start off. So Drew Dan, there you see 7 receptions, 115 yards, no touchdowns in there for him. Tough day for him, but he did have a great time throughout the air there. He was pretty unstoppable in some of those plays, breaking tackles left and right, but he just could not get himself into the end zone there, and that was something nice to see, because reading the scouting report on him leading up to this, it was just like, oh boy, this one receiver could be a problem for us. So but we were able to shut him down as best as we could, even though he did get 100 yards there on us in receiving. But let's take a look at the interceptions. Let's go ahead and take a quick look around the league here, and we'll see the other scores here. We got a lot of FBS schools that played this week against some of the FBS schools, a lot of the FCS schools. There you'll see here in just a bit. There had a really tough week here. I don't think not one of them got a victory off of FBS school. So, but just take a look at here. We got some pretty good rivalry matchups there. You see that Arkansas Texas A&M game, 28-21. What else do you got here? Just got a couple of ACC games. LSU won, Georgia won, Vanderbilt won, 31-28 against Ole Miss. What else? We got some other big time matchups here. So a little bit of a change in the top 25 here. You'll see here in just a bit. We're still at number 4. You see the Battle of Ohio there, the Miami of Ohio playing against Cincinnati, 28-14. Maryland versus West Virginia. Did not know they were rivals, but they are. Apparently they are. Maryland losing 20-14. And Wisconsin putting up 50 points there against Michigan State. Wow. So let's take a look here at your top 25 poll. And USC is still top spot there. Alabama dropped down from number 1 to number 2 this week. USC actually jumped up 2 spots from number 3 last week. Auburn, they leapfrog over us. They beat K-State 33-17. K-State ranked 12th. I believe now K-State's now probably fell some. But there you see Highland at number 4, and then Wisconsin right behind us. They will play this week in week 5. They'll be playing against USC, so that's going to be a big game right there. Number 5 versus number 1. So let's go Huskies. Let's see what you guys can do against them. Take a look here. K-State fell down from 8 to 12. Oklahoma, another shocker here, ranked 18th this week, but previously at number 2. They lose to Tennessee 24-16. They have Tulsa next week, so oh boy, they're 1-1 right now here for the season. And what else have we had? Any other big shockers or upsets here? Well, Oregon State has got on board there for the first time this year on top 25 poll. There you see the only team dropping out of the top 25 would be Utah. They were number 25 last week, now off there. And let's take a look here at the Heisman Watch. There you see K-Son, your top vote getter right now. And we'll look at that here in a couple more weeks here. We get some more games underneath our belt here. We're not going to keep too close watch of it, but for right now, he's at top spot right now. Got Bo Scarborough, of course, Sam Darnett, who in real life is with the Jets right now. Bo Scarborough, I believe, I forgot where he went off to in real life, but he's still in the game here and still with the Alabama. Take a look at your NCAA players of the week for week 4, and there you see our boys right there. Yep, 2 guys that had a great game. Sheldon, there you see in that game, 7 tackles for, or 7 tackles, 6 tackles for loss and 6 sacks in the game. And K-Son, 23 carries, 257 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown there for him, and a couple of some receiving yards there for himself. So nice week indeed for both of those gentlemen there. It's really nice to see that, and we'll see how well they do next or in 2 weeks here when we play against UMass. But coming up here in the next episode in week 5, we'll see. It'll be the week 5. It'll be a bye week. We'll have a bye week video talking about what's going on in week 5 and what Coach A. Muntz has in store for the team, and talk about what's going on with the team. Also, too, we'll have behind that, we'll have in the next Scotties Sports Talk video, we'll have a special look at the recruiting board. We'll take a look at the recruiting. We'll see what we're doing so far here when it comes to recruiting and who we're trying to go after and who we potentially may not be able to go after. We got some some interesting players we're gonna try to go after. Also, too, I'll let you guys know about some of the players that you guys created. I'll let you guys know who you guys created and what schools they've been signed to, or if they're still out there that we're trying to go after. And we'll show you guys more of those players here coming up in the next Scotties Sports Talk. So it's all about recruiting in the next episode of Scotties Sports Talk here on the episode. So it may be a little lengthy, so just bear with us as we try to get you guys some of the information on what's going on with the team for next. At least get ready for what's going on for the team for next season with some recruits from that we're trying to go after right now. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. Hit that bell notification for you guys can be notified when videos of this series or any other series here on the channel is uploaded. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. Links are down below in the description. Check us out there for the latest news and events on what's going on here on the channel and what is going on in the world of sports gaming in general. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, stay tuned for more Highland Scotties Team Builder Dynasty, I should say, here on ESGNet. As always, keep yourselves and your other healthy, and I will see you guys next time.